ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else.
Right, good evening folks, welcome back to VP4TV. We have a round 2 match tonight in the 2025 Virtual Straight Pool World Championship here in VP4 Online. And we have MC_Clarkey representing United Kingdom against another Englishman representing Scotland, and that's djsimon. And that goes at the top there. We've had a couple of matches have been arranged on the schedule. We need to have a quick look at those. We have the match following in an hour's time, which is the match between Shibo and One Pocket Slim. And as I said, that goes at the top of the hour in an hour's time. We have Linus and Viking arranged for Friday at 1 p.m. and now we have a big match between Cobra and Tommy on Friday evening at 6:30. I should be there for that one. So 4 matches on the schedule. Certainly you can pick the cream of the crop out of that lot. Slim, I presume, will be streaming his own match at 8 o'clock. So we'll be in the middle of this one once it starts. djsimon, I think he's going to be here as cannon fodder, but don't take anything for granted. First of all, Simon's highest running straight pool, as you can see, is just 30. And, of course, Matt made his 1-2-1 in his first match. But what I would add is if you look how Fast Eddie played in his first match against Miskin, where Fast Eddie should have been the stronger player and the favourite, he kept making mistakes. And the problem with that is that Miskin, although he wasn't putting high runs together, he was putting nice little runs together and keeping them, and he was using common sense and ducking and diving and preventing Fast Eddie from getting in. And I think Fast Eddie started taking risks, started making more mistakes, and before you know it, Miskin had built up a lead. Now, I'm not saying Matt's going to take any liberties tonight, but if he does, he better be prepared to pay the price, because I think Simon is good enough to put points together. Whether he's going to be good enough to beat his high run, that remains to be seen. We've got a few minutes to go. I'm just going to do a quick tab Steve said he was going to be here, so I'll be back in a second. Right, have we got voice here? No, we don't. We still don't have voice. It's taken a laggy amount of time. Yeah, Steve's got the same problem.
Oh, there you go. It's like it's delayed before I can hear you.
Yeah, it's a laggy thing going on with Discord. They're doing updates to it all the time, but they're certainly, you know, it's a bit like you, Steve. Somebody in Discord decides we need another fix, and they go and break something else. Anyway, welcome. I was just warning the viewers that as much as Matt's going to be the strong favourite, I don't think anybody should take anything for granted, because if things go pear-shaped for him and Simon plays with common sense and knows his limitations, he's probably not good enough to put 50 and 60 runs together. But if he can put 20 odd together and keep them and stop Matt from scoring, it could end up like a Miskin result against Fast Eddie. It's probably slim chance of that happening, but I would always warn that you never know. There's no such thing as a dead cert in a two-horse race, I don't think, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah, well, I have no idea because I haven't seen Simon play straight pool. I know what Matt's like. He's kind of up and down. He's very capable, but he doesn't always show up. So we'll see what happens.
Welcome to Cobra. Welcome to Coldest Pillow, and anybody else out there that's watching. So we've got, about a minute and a half to go. I was just mentioning that we have matches added to the schedule. We've got the match with Slim and Shibo. That's due to start in an hour's time. And Slim will probably be streaming that. And then, of course, we have Linus against Viking on Friday. I think that's Friday at 1 p.m. I won't be around for that. And then Cobra up against Tommy on Friday night. Now, there's another one where, you know, Tommy is capable of scoring 40, 50 runs. And that one could be a dangerous match for Cobra if he has the odd mistake and Tommy can take advantage of it. So that'll be a good watch on Friday night. And that starts at 6:30, so it's sort of, what's that? Well, that's still going to be 4 hours time zone difference to East Coast United States, because our clocks don't go back forward till Sunday, so it's sort of early afternoon over there. But I will be there for it. So that's the matches that are lined up. And we wait for this room going up. We'll have the lag for the break. Now, Simon has put in absolutely no table time whatsoever for this, so he's just going to wing it on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, Simon's a busy boy. I mean, it's nice that he comes in and plays in this thing. You know, hopefully he has some fun.
Now, I was just about to say, Steve hasn't been around for a couple of weeks because he's probably been dragging that bloody caravan about England, blocking off traffic and holding up trucks and everything. He's arrived back in the lobby tonight, so he's probably got home after a couple of weeks off. Now, Matt was in getting practice earlier on. Where is he? Is he still there?
Who was that you're talking about that has the caravan?
Steve-O UK, really? Mark. Yeah, whenever he disappears at this time of year, you know he's dragging a caravan around the roads in the UK, blocking off traffic, holding every decent person up, and going at 30 miles an hour. Everybody hates caravans in the UK. If you're a driver and you don't have one, you just hate somebody that has one. It's tradition in this country. Right, and Cobra, of course, he better get some practice in, because Cobra's been scratching his backside during this tournament because he hasn't hit a ball yet. Is he going to be that jammy that Tommy's not going to turn up on Friday? We'll soon find out. Anyway, room is up. Let's get in. And hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. And speak of the devil, am I right in guessing what I just said there, Mark? Did you hear what I said about you dragging that caravan around the streets and holding up traffic? Is that what you've been doing the last couple of weeks? He'll probably confirm it, yes. Well, they're not in any rush to get into the room. Yes, he was. There, I told you. Right, here we go. Matt on the right-hand side.
Well, I know
And
Matt
Simon
wants to
on the
get
left.
his high run back. I'm kind of doubting that's going to happen.
Well,
I mean, its
he's
odds are against anybody just coming in and running a 150 or
well,
something like that on any given match. I mean, he could.
well, try telling that to Miasma in the first round match, because that's exactly what Matt did. Won the lag, put Miasma into break, Miasma broke off, and then Miasma sat down for 40 minutes while Matt got his high run. Because you never know. So Matt has lost the lag, Simon's put him in, so hopefully Matt's had some practice in the break-off. And he's got the left-hand English on that cue ball, and that's left the 2 on, has it? No, it hasn't. He's absolutely nailed that. There ain't anything coming out of this lot. Well, that's how to get a tight break in VP4.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough situation here.
Well, I'd just take the foul. That's what I'd do. I wouldn't even think about it.
You're just going to get it back.
Yeah, well, and then I'd be looking for some other alternative. And
that was a pretty nifty play. I think. Well,
it was a good effort. He's left a shot on, but I mean, it wasn't. It was unlucky that he actually didn't sneak the edge of that 15 ball and cover the 2.
Yeah, he hit it pretty good. So now we're going to see what whether Matt's going to do this wondrous run right off the bat again. I mean, he did it once.
Welcome to Fast Steady. Welcome to Interchange X. Yeah, Fast Steady, you need to look on the bright side. That was your bad match, that match against Michigan, because I don't think much else could go wrong for you in the tournament than it did in that first match.
I'll try it, Todd. I'll set up on my table and give it a go.
Loads of left English, Stephen. Well, you need to video it then. We need to see video evidence. I don't want you coming in here and saying, oh, yes, I managed to do it, or no, I couldn't do it, I tried all day, and all that stuff. We need to see video evidence.
I just changed my mind. Now it's too much effort.
Oh, you got to laugh. Yeah, we don't go by word of mouth in here. We need to see proper video evidence. I mean, if I just told you about my tactical genius shot I did the other week there, bouncing that ball off the rail and banking the ball up and down the table, you would never believe me. You know, always get video evidence. Well, down to business here. We need to rummage around this pack and see what's shaping up.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the wrong angle on that 12 he just shot, because it was a nice ball to move balls, but he was just sitting wrong.
Well, he's loosened another 2.
Yeah, this is he needs to get down where he can shoot the 3 ball or the 13. He's not as straight as he'd like to be on this 10.
Well, nothing there that's a combo.
You can shoot this, though. It's a lot of right English and just kind of spin it down. Doesn't look like that's what he's doing. Maybe he's playing for the 6. Oh, the 3 goes too. Yeah, never mind. The 3 goes in the corner. I thought it was blocked.
I wouldn't hammer this. I think just a sort of nice weight to loosen him a bit more. Oh,
that was a good speed.
He's going to have to do another little bump, because that's not a combo. The 6 and 15. But he can go up table, or down table as we're looking, or up table as you're looking, whatever way you're looking.
Well, he needs to bump a break ball out, and he's sitting funny to do it. He really doesn't have a break ball at this point. He's going to have to figure something out. Boy, he got a little too high. He needed to be just a touch lower on that 14. So now he's got problems. Can you break
Well,
off the 11? Maybe. You know, there's a couple spots you could get to the rack, but it's not even going to be easy to get on the 11 if he leaves that to last.
Simon's in the stream to get tactical advice. He thinks he's going to be sitting there for quite a while. Well, he's got to get back across.
You know, that's going to be hard to do a lot. He might be able to get into it a little. He doesn't have a good angle at all.
Far too straight.
He could miss this. Well, he got into it a little, not very much.
Well, get ready, Simon, because Matt's not getting anything here. Nothing obvious. Well, this is what Simon should be doing to Matt. If ever he gets opportunities, taking what he's getting and then just ducking.
Boy, that was close.
That 8-ball goes in the side.
It does. And these big pockets, I mean, it's somewhat inviting. Maybe rub off the 5 a little and then shoot the 13, or just come back for the 13, or just
And there's a mistake.
Give it up.
See, that's a perfect example of exactly where, you know, Matt's just took an opportunity there. It wasn't a gimme, and the mistake's been made, and Simon's got a start here. Is he blocking himself off? He's got the 1 in the side. He can do a bit of damage off this 1 ball, but that would also be a bit tight up top of the pack for a break ball. And he's now got break balls in place. So there's points here.
Simon's pretty dangerous because he's just going to get up and hit balls. He's not going to overthink it, and you know, he pockets balls well, and it's a dangerous kind of person, because that's the way you want to play straight pool, is in a rhythm. The problem for most people is when they try to play that way is they don't understand the game well enough, and so they naturally just make mistakes. But even if you're doing that, sometimes it's better to just try to play in a rhythm than it is to think a lot. Now, the really great players, not only can they play in a rhythm, but they don't have to think because they know what to do all the time. And those are the guys that are really tough to beat. But grinders typically aren't good at this game. And Simon's not a grinder. I think he's got the right way to play. I would shoot the 9 here and break those balls. The 3 is a good break ball. I don't know why, but people on VP seem to think they need the ball close to the rack for it to be a good break ball, and that's really not the case.
Well, he's just about to shoot the break ball.
Well, he could shoot the 14 here and then shoot the 5. I mean, see, that's...
Yeah.
See, that once upon a time when he could have shot the 9 and left the 3, and it's just a simple little thing like that, is the difference between continuing a run and maybe having to give up the table.
I think he can still get the 5 here once he pots this and comes across. I think he'd still get the 5. No, you know, that's terrible.
Well, he can.
Unless he's trying to get below it.
His problem is he needs to make a break ball, and I think he might be able to here with the 5 ball. I think he can bump the 5 out.
Well, I presume he played to play there, because I would have thought just playing to get to the 5 would have been good enough.
Yeah. And see, now remember the 3 ball? He's got almost the exact same break ball in the 5 when he had the 3. I mean, he just made things hard for himself.
That needs to keep going. That's going too straight.
No see, you can draw that all the way to the other rail and have more of a cut than maybe you want, but you still got a shot. You come up short like this, and you got not much of anything.
Coldest Pillow says, Steve, can you tell us which ball you would leave for a breakout shot? Well, he told you.
Yeah, I told you the 3 ball I would have left there. And that's going to be a foul. Now, if this is me, I'm probably putting them up. First I look at the stack, then I'm putting them up at the top corner of the table. See, I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have put him all the way up.
Oh, you can't get away from this. Can't really get away from the pack.
Yeah, see, he should have tried to put him back in the stack there. Put him on the 11 or the 9.
There's a wild 4-ball plant there, but that's going too full on to the 10-ball.
See, now Matt doesn't have the opportunity to go up table. He could have done it before, because he could have just taken a foul. And the problem with staying down here is eventually, you're going to give something up that,
Oh yeah, it's going to
could
happen.
lose on. Like, I mean, he could just shoot the 6-10 right now, or he could shoot the 15-10 if he wants. I mean, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but that's why you don't want to leave the ball down here. You put him up at the top end of the table and give him some ridiculous cut on that too, and let him take a shot at it.
Simon's getting a bit overambitious here, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a tough shot. That's what I was saying.
2-ball.
It maybe was still wait time.
Yeah, 2 balls going to do some damage, or at least it should open something up. Now, is that 8 and is that the 8? What ball is that sitting next to the 13? So it's not a combo. 13 and the 12 isn't a combo either. So there's a little bit of tidying up to be done right in the middle of that pack. You can see the 8-ball will go provided you get rid of that 12. And then, of course, you've got the 4-ball in amongst the mix there as well, just getting sort of in the way of things. Try a Den. I'm going to put a bet on and say that this guy's from Vietnam and that's just arrived in the room. Why is that not scrolling? That's weird. The chat's scrolling in the room, but the list of players isn't scrolling in the room. What the hell's happening there, I wonder? That's weird. Anyway. Oh, it's probably because I'll get that one, isn't it? Or is it? I don't know.
Simon's in the stream asking what the highest run is. It's on the screen.
Yeah, top left of the HUD, Simon. I actually put it on there for people to observe. But your target's to beat your high run of 30. That's your goal in this match. And if you can get 2 or 3 of those 30 odds, then that would come in handy. No, Larry didn't. Albinario got a 127 the other night there, which is now second in the list. Well, I think the 14 ball looks as if it's tight to me. No, it isn't. It's sitting pretty good. So that's a break ball. There's no doubt about that. And Matt's going to roll the 6 into the side and should be probably stopping the cue ball to leave that angle.
And this is a good pattern. The thing about that 6 ball is that's really not a good ball for the ball before it unless you got a real good way to get on it, which he did with the 3. Because you get funny on that 6 and all of a sudden things get tough.
I think he wants to come back a good inch or 2 off this to leave a decent angle so he gets a solid hit. Well, that's fine. He's got to watch how the cue ball comes off the pack again.
You just want to stun this.
Yeah, well,
I would have hit it harder, but I mean, that was the right way to play it, just a stun.
He's going to have to cut that 10. I can't see any other option, and that 10's not great either.
He just didn't hit it hard enough. You got to put more speed on it. I think guys are afraid of where the cue ball's going. You got to understand that when you hit that with stun, that head ball,
now, why
it's going to bounce back off it a little, but it's not going
Why is he not thin cutting the 10? I mean, you get the pace in that 10 ball, it's got to go in the hole. Are you calling the bank? You can thin cut that 10 every day of the week. Anyway, he's made his decision. And he's got it. Well, does he want to risk actually cutting the 10 now and running into anything?
No, he doesn't want to run into anything. I mean, it's if you're going to try to run into something, you got to be on the bottom side of the one. I mean, I don't, you know, you could do it here, but there's some risk in it. Yeah, and he got on the bottom side of the one. That was the safest way to play it. And he still almost didn't come up with a shot. Wow.
He's having to bail out here to try and keep things going. There's an inevitability in these things when you start getting into awkward positions and struggling to stay at the table.
He's just got to come down the other side of the table, and he's got plenty of shots. It's weird how sometimes the balls line up where on one side of the table there's like nothing. I mean, it's like absolutely nothing.
That needs to get legs. That needs to get legs. Well, he's
good enough, and he can shoot the
12 goes, doesn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's fine. Yep, and that 4 ball was a potential problem there because it was going to come back up and cause problems. And he's kind of funny again, and he's going to have to shoot the 4 and then probably the 2. The 2 or the 13.
Simon says, prize for highest run, Steve. Simon, you need to go and look at the tournament information. It's all written there for you. I thought Simon was one of these computer geeks that was very observant. He's come into the lobby, or come into the stream, asking what the high run is. The high run's on the screen. Right, so the run is 22 and counting.
Well, like that. He just dropped there. He didn't try to move balls.
It would. Well, I'm looking at the line of balls here. Obviously, the 12 ball, the 13 ball's the break ball as it sits at the moment. Unless he's going off that 9 in the back of the pack.
Yeah, I like the 13 a lot better than the 9. The 9's problematic because it's near the middle of the rack, so it's hard to get angle.
Yeah, you really want to get the corner balls breaking for that back. I think you don't want to go solid into it. Well, that's dealt with that problem.
Well, you want to have more angle because if you can't generate angle, then you end up coming into the rack too straight. That's how you get stuck.
We're in trouble here.
Yeah.
We're in deep doo-doo here. Yes, you can get the recovery in the 2.
Maybe the 5 ball didn't go. Maybe you thought it didn't go. Looks to me like it goes. I don't know why I didn't shoot the 5 ball and just soft draw back.
Well, we're now on to plan B now, as far as break shots go. And it might be better that he actually holds the cue ball in the triangle here. You don't think that might be a better idea with ball in hand in the kitchen to try and get a hit? Take your medicine and run.
Well, there's another ball on the table here, so he can't do that.
Well, I'm talking about if when he gets down to this, get good in the 5, kill the cue ball into the pack, and break from the kitchen and run into the pack. The commentator's eye, he's got my sort of thinking. Now there's no excuse.
The important thing here is you got to hit one of the head balls.
Well, he did that.
He does very well.
He's in business. You see, I wonder how many players in the tournament actually, the sort of players who don't regularly play the game, whether they know as much as actually if you get desperate, you can always leave a ball up table in that situation the way it was and hold the cue ball into the pack and use the kitchen as a break point, if you know what I mean. Use that ball in the middle of the table because you don't see it that often. Now, a quick look at this 8 and 6. I don't think they're lined. No, they're not. So, yeah, there's blocking balls all around here. So, he's in a position now where he can deal with this sort of stuff. He needs to maybe get away from that 10 ball clean. Yeah.
That's just solving a little puzzle. That's straightforward. It's a little puzzle every time you have a rack like this. How do I get all the balls?
He wanted to be there. He's left it a wee bit short. Having to go a different direction. So this is a problem at the moment for the fact that this 3 ball sitting there. It's a blocker. Hugh is rude today. I'm rude every bloody day. I'm not just rude today. Did you not see me giving you the fingers when you were saying that you wanted to see me in the webcam? I bet you turned away at that time. I put the webcam on and I gave you the fingers, then switched it off. Well, we're getting down to what I'll call the nitty-gritty, the critical part of every rack.
He was rude today. I mean, that's his normal state.
Yeah, I'm never happier than when I'm rude. That 7 ball looks good to me.
He doesn't pull any punches. Uh-oh, don't want to be
straight. Well,
he's got a little angle, but boy, you didn't want to play it like that.
Well, now the thing is, do you actually want to try run this and spinning it off the rail, or would you not be better just leaving it on the 8 ball and running it up the table? And that's a safer way of getting it clean.
Well, I can tell you going from
the... Well, he's trying to get there.
I can tell you going from the 14 to the break spot is not the best way. That side to side is never really what you want.
Well, the thing that Matt's got in his favour is he's got a good touch for weight on shots, and this is probably an ideal.
No, this is too much
not from there. It's not. Not from there. It isn't. He's having to go to plan C now.
Yeah. See, that's that when the ball's on the rail like that. The angle makes a huge difference, and also then how you cut the ball makes a huge difference on where the cue ball is going to stop. Well, that's the end of that.
Well, there you go. That's him trying to pinch with a bit of probably loads of right-hand English there. And there ended the run. The run was 41. And Simon's got points here to get in the bag and try and narrow this deficit. And he's been given an opportunity to stop Matt getting away from him here, but he needs to slow down, and already he's got himself out of shape here.
I think he thought he was going to shoot the 4 next and just kind of overhit that and overcut the ball.
Yeah.
This is not where you want to be.
He's in the mire already after 1 shot.
There could be the stub 1 ball run.
Yeah, Simon keeps a bird, doesn't he? Aye, that's what it looks like, an African grey. Well, I think if Simon had just took his time and thought a wee bit more, went through the thought process a wee bit better, he might not have made a complete hash of that, because he might have a long wait till he gets another turn.
Well, I don't think it was how much time he thought. I think it was how he hit the ball. I mean, I'm sure he was playing for the 4 ball, and he hit it a little too hard, and then he overcut it, and the combination was the cue ball going too far.
Right, so we have, again, break balls in position here, the 6 or the 12, or possibly the 5, although it's a bit wide, but if you were inside on the rail in the 5 ball, that would do as a bailout breakout shot, possibly. Matt looks as if he's committing to the 12. So all of these balls are all sitting loose. It's just picking your way through them. He has a cockatoo too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, is he not? Is Simon not surrounded by women in that house? Has he not got a couple of little girls? So, I mean, there could be nothing worse than getting up in the morning and you've got this bloody parrot yakking at you, and then you've got all these women yakking at you as well. His bloody head must be sore.
So I like the tempo Matt's playing it now. He's playing a little faster, a little more in rhythm.
Oh dear.
And that's how he can get a high run if he plays like this.
Well,
Because everything seems to flow. You don't grind on it. Everything starts being easy, perfect speed there coming back on the 12. Watch out. Oh, okay, he's fine. So he's going to take a look around and, see what the layout of this table is. And then decide what he's going to do. He's going to need to bump a ball to get a break ball.
Simon said his head's banging all the time. Simon, I'm going to give you a target. If you get another visit, you must get to 30. If you don't get to 30 in this match, and I'm going to say this publicly, you're a complete numpty. You are on 15 at the moment, so you must get to 30. Or I'm going to humiliate you for the next 6 months. Well, that's not my problem that he might not get a shot. He still has to get to 30 points.
Well, I don't think he wanted to put it on the 1 like that. I mean, he's okay, but that's really not where he wanted to be.
He's having to bail out, yeah. Well, he could have took the 7, but he'd have been hampered right over the top of the 1 doing that.
Yeah, ball on the rail like that. It's not really what you want.
And I think that prize has already been won, Simon. So you're out of the running for the lowest score. That guy Bosk, I think. What did Bosk get against Interchange X the other night? Did he get about 3 points or something? I don't think he get many.
I don't know if he's trying to rubber ball or what there. He's probably going to be shooting a 9 here.
Well,
if he can get, he needs a little angle. If he had a little angle on that 5, he could bump the 2. This is not the angle he wants.
Well, he can squeeze an angle and get a little stun.
Boy, you're taking a risk.
Yeah.
You start cheating balls to the side of the pocket. I like shooting something else and coming back to that, or you could try to bump it right
what
here.
About this? No. Well, those balls are all dead. I mean, they serve no purpose where they are because there's no break ball there.
He's going to come back at the moment, and he gets he's a little better. He's a little better.
He's very slightly better.
Yeah, I mean, he can move it here pretty safely.
Oh,
he didn't hit it hard enough.
No. Well, I think we're already at plan D.
Well, the good news is he got it enough that if he can get a little angle on the 15 ball, he can then bump it out.
I'm going to say it now, Steve. We could be back to where we were before. It might be keep the cue ball in the stack and or in the triangle and use the 3 ball again.
Yeah, he might try to do that. Because I'll tell you what, if he doesn't get on the 15 right, you're not going to get the right bump on the 2.
Yeah, I think that'll be the game plan. I think he's already made his mind up. In fact,
this is no good, and he certainly doesn't have the right angle to bump it here.
He's just going to come back across and hold the cue ball. Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. I mean, he got a good hit the last time, so here we go.
Yeah, it's almost the exact same shot he had last time.
And he's got the same hit right in the top two balls, and that's broken very nicely.
And he put just a little top. You don't want to put too much top on that because it can hit, loop around, and go in the corner pocket.
Well,
but you need to put a little on it because it can bounce off the rack and go back in the side pocket.
A bit like London double-decker buses. You don't see one and then two come along in a very short space of time. That's 2 in a row sort of break balls from the middle of the table. The run is now 29, and these are all sitting fairly healthily. There is the slight problem where his cue ball's sitting with the 1 ball and whatever, but again,
Matt
they
is
all do
definitely
have pockets as long as he tidies it up.
I like the way he's playing. You know, he's playing with a lot of confidence. He's playing in a good rhythm. He's not doing a lot of dumb things. You know, when he gets a situation like this, he's taking a little more time. He looks like he could win this thing. I mean, he's one of the guys I think can win.
Oh, well,
you know,
we're going to have to deal with that situation now.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why you really don't want to bump balls unless they're very controlled, because he just made that a lot worse. He's probably going to shoot to 7 now and bump it again.
Well, that's it. You know, he's going along there at a little rhythm, and then all of a sudden he's bumped a ball, and now he's at it again.
Well, right there, you didn't want to get behind it. You wanted to bump the side of it. He's lucky he has a shot. He could have come up on top of that 5 and had nothing.
Is that 4 going to the jaw up table if he kicked that 6? Looks as if it's going to the jaw. Well, that's not going to be that situation. He's oh dear.
Boy.
Well, there you go. I think I've jinxed him looking at that combo at the table. Well, the run ends in 33, but that's the sort of point Simon needs to be making now. He needs to try and get that target of 30 and get that dealt with.
Simon says I beat Sheba has to count for something. Well, it does. You got to win.
I'll have a quick drink.
The thing is when you're staying to 5 a.m. at the pool room, you don't want to be standing there being the watcher. You want to be the player. You go to the pool room with your friends, and you know, maybe 2 or 3 you go together, and you know, you get there, and it's like most of the time it was me that was playing late, and I didn't want to be them because I don't want to sit there for 10 or 12 hours watching. I want to be playing. So you got one in there, Simon, but you may be a watcher here pretty soon the way this is going. You'll have one more bullet.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, either one of these will work. The 12's obviously better, but it's looking like he's going to go with the 4. Uh-oh.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, this is going to have to probably go 2 rails to even get a touch, I think. Is it?
Yeah, this is not good. You know, the problem is, you can get it 1 rail, but you can't hit it hard, and you know, then you don't get much on it. And hitting it hard 2 rails, it's easy to miss the ball. Yeah, you can play safe. You don't have to shoot it, or you could do something.
Well, I think he's
like
going.
This.
I think he's going around the corner and trying to get in behind the pack. No, he isn't. He is getting crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy is usually not a good tactic in this game.
Well, Matt's going to juice things up, I think, here. Oh no, he's called a safety.
Well, this is the right play. You really want to get the cue ball on the end rail, though. See, that was a mistake. You got to put more English on it and get that cue ball right on the end rail.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a huge difference. More in real life, but it makes a difference. And there's a foul.
Well,
So I like going up table. I like putting it back right in the corner where he came from. Put him out up on the end rail up there, and let's see what he does from up there. If you just dink one here, you're going to leave him an opportunity to dink two. If you put him up towards the end rail, now the pressure's really on.
yeah, I think he can get that. Well, I'm surprised he didn't. I mean, why didn't he just thin that with a bit of right English and run up into the long grass in the corner?
Oh, I wouldn't even defend it. I would have just taken a foul and put it up there. Just shoved it up
Yeah,
there.
just rolled it up to exactly where you wanted it.
I mean, you do give the guy a chance to edge a ball, but you know, you're giving him a lot of chances to do that here and get you in potentially in trouble.
Well, I suppose if you go up table into the kitchen, you're leaving a bank in that 13, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you could. You got to be a little careful what you leave, especially on these pockets.
Has he left a cut in that 13?
He's left a cut on 11, but I'm not sure he'll do that.
I think it's too tight. But Matt thinks he can get to this, and he's right enough.
And he's right.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can shoot that 15 ball though.
Well, he'll maybe get a little bit of tweaking on it, but I think he's more than likely going to hit the 12 at the same time here, and that could cause a problem. Oh, he's got it.
He was able to get it. Well, he sees them a lot better than we do.
He's definitely got the commentator's eye.
Yeah.
Well, okay so far. It's just beginning to loosen up. Oh,
yeah, he'll have the 15, but it'll be a back cut off the end rail. You put him in the corner there and make him back cut that thing. Who wants to shoot that? Well, I mean, if the 12 was in a spot where it was playable as a billiard, then yeah, that would be a bad shot.
Well, back to square one here. He just released a little cluster of 3 and created a cluster of 2. And this is where you've got to get careful here, because it's the same situation. You're running out of balls to try and deal with a situation here, and you've got to be careful. I don't know that that's great either. I mean, yes, he can pot the 6 ball, but I don't think he can do any damage from it, though, can he? Can he get anything out of this? Well, just a feather,
just a little bump,
but that'll do. Well, the combos, you know, you're not missing an 8-3 combo if you're desperate. You're not missing that. In fact, if I was Matt, I mean, is he going to... See, this is the thing. Why didn't he just take the 8-3 combo? Because if he rubs these balls here, you know, he's got a solid hit, so that everything's worked out fine, but it could easily go pear-shaped with sticking one on top of the other. Right, so...
Well, you still got to deal with a 14-9, because those balls don't go. Maybe you can shoot the 9 up table.
Well, he's going to go. Well, he's trying to net the 3 out, but he's going to have to maybe manufacture this combo right now, because I don't think he'll ever be any better than this 9 and 14.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good time to shoot it.
I mean, that's perfect. You just got to look at the gap, look at the line, and just hit it a nice weight, and that 14 will go in.
And
but he's looking to break them.
The cue ball. Yeah, well, I mean, if you break them, it may work. It may not.
He might leave a good break ball. You never know. But I think he's back at plan A here for this.
I like shooting the combo now. When straight pull, a lot of times you'll just roll up on balls, and
well, that 9 ball looks good now. Well, it's better than nothing. Let's put it that way. It's a bit wide. If you want to say wide, it's sort of in between either way, isn't it?
He's going to try to watch out for the scratch. Oh, he way overhit that. Well, now he's got problems. He'll probably end up trying to break off the 3 ball. Last time he did that, he missed the ball.
So back over into the middle of the table for the cut. He had loads of right English on it the last time. Well, he's gone a bit shallower this time, so he should be off.
It's not sitting in a good spot. I'll tell you that right now. If this was me, I'd be trying to clip the top balls. Go in the middle of the rack. Yeah, you got on the top balls, because lot better chance you're going to come up good. If you go into like a ball or two down at that angle, it could get ugly.
Well, you'll never want one ball to get you going in the next rack, and he's got that. He's got a couple anyway. And he's already halfway home. Simon's still short of his target of 30 that I gave him. Here's trouble arrived in the stream.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, good morning to Hairpig.
No, it's not morning.
Or whatever time of day it is in that part of the world.
Yeah, it's afternoon. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yep, I like that play there. He's in a good spot to do that. Well, you know, this may be the end of it for Simon. He may not get to the table again.
Well, the bad news for Matt is he ain't going to beat his high run.
No, he can't. But it's hard to, once the run's up and get up into that, it's tough to, because not only is it hard to run that many balls, you got a limit where the game ends. You know, if you're at Derby doing this thing, or you're doing the straight pull thing, there's no end to game, so you can just start another try and go forever.
Oh, now that's now that you've mentioned that, Steve. Here's another moan at Steve. Why did you see that match that they had the other night there? The one with Hazard and who was playing? The one where I had to set the room. Anyway, to cut a long story short, the match goal in the tournament is to 200. And yet, when you go into a match room, you've got the increments in straight pool in a match room should go up in 50s, Steve. Unfortunately, they don't. You've got it going from 150 to 300, so I couldn't set the room to 200.
Yeah, it would be better to change that. That's been noted before.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. Just slide out just a little, not too much. You're better sliding out less and more. Yep, that's good.
That'll do it.
That's kind of an angle that's really good. It's not quite steep enough to go forward though. He's going to have to draw this. Get a little more angle and you can go forward with the cube.
Oh, bonus balls flying in. 3 in that break there.
Yeah, that rack came apart good. I mean, that's why you want to hit him a little harder. You get a break ball in a good spot, and you don't have to blast him, but that was more than he's been doing.
See if he can leave the 11 or the 4 where it is as he runs these out.
Yeah, he really shouldn't have a problem doing that. I mean, this table's sitting. When they get spread out like this, it's pretty easy to run balls.
Got to get on the 3 in the side at some point, which I think he's trying to do right away.
So he's got the 2 choices at the moment. Well, he's got more than 2 choices if things went funny for some reason, but
he's got the 10 also.
The thing about break balls is usually you want to leave a couple for a while, but at some point you got to decide, like pretty soon here, because when you get to 4 or 5 balls left, you should be looking at a pattern to get on the break ball.
I mean, he could use the 15 ball to get on that 4 ball as a break shot. He could use the
not anymore,
13 in the middle of the table.
Unless he's going to use the 11. Yeah, he's going to end up using 11.
He's committed now.
The 13 is kind of a hard ball to play for because, you know, it looks like, oh, I'll just stop it, like shoot in the side and stop it. But the problem is it's hard to get good on it, and you get a little funny. This isn't bad. He'll just roll this.
You mean he's a better bullshitter than either of the two of us? Is that what you mean?
I don't know about that.
So he's going to get on the top of the 4, yeah, just like that.
Oh, now what's happened here?
Well,
the ball goes.
Where that 11 was, you couldn't hit it real hard, and this is actually perfect. I'd shoot the 2 and
yeah, re-break them right away.
Yeah, he just rolled up good on it.
Have to agree. You're probably going to go into the 8. Kind of want to put some follow on this and drive it through. He's not shooting it.
He's going to decide to wait till later. Which, I mean, a lot of the old-time players, I knew some old-time straight pull players, and I remember one of them said to me one day in that kind of situation that, it's better to pick off these other balls because if you break the balls in the center, it just shoves those onto the other balls. And there's some truth to that. But you got to get the balls spread out eventually. You don't want to wait too long.
Well, and another one of those old school skills was leaving the right balls for insurance when you go into them, which means not picking off some of the open ones.
Well, that's not just old school. I mean, that's if you don't shoot shots where you're going into the rack where you got escape balls, you're asking for not making very high runs. That's how you end runs.
That is a combo that's pretty much stone dead, but it's a little bit of a gap between the two of them, the 10 and the 5, this side of the table.
Yeah, I mean...
The obvious thing is these balls here are being blocked with the 10 and 5. That's the problem with the 12 and the 15 right now.
They both go, so I don't see him shooting them as a combo.
It's better not to shoot combos if you can avoid it. I'm kind of surprised he didn't run into the 12 there. Not
maybe
sure
he tried
why
to.
he didn't. Maybe he was trying to.
Yeah, he's already got this played in his mind. Yeah, this is a little bit of trouble at the moment. Well, that should be enough, I think. Just to get a little nudge.
Slide over and shoot the 10.
I thought he was going to nudge them and nudge and hold for the 10. I thought he could have nudged and hold for the 10, but anyway.
It's better not to move them if you can avoid it. I mean, I know some guys that I know one guy that what the hell's his name? Bill starts with an M. He was like a championship drag racer in the stock classes. He worked with John Schmidt a lot and
Meropolis,
yeah, and that was one of the things that they worked on a lot was not bumping into balls.
And then Jason Shaw came along and ran balls being the opposite of careful, just being great instead of careful.
Well, I mean, Jason Shaw, I mean, his strength is that he's not a grinder. I mean, he's the ultimate kind of rhythm player.
Hey, you've got to give me some credit. I know shit when I see it. That's one thing I do know. I know that when I spot it. And this ain't pretty at the moment. Is he going to get in line? Has he got the touch?
No.
And the answer to that is
not on that shot. He's not. Oh, he still can see the ball. So I would just bank this behind the stack and send the cue ball up table for a safety. Not bother trying to break the rack from here.
I think you can, just send that to the short reel and maybe go 2 rails into the kitchen.
I like banking the 13 2 rails toward the bottom of the stack to hide it.
This is not if you're going to bank this, you call safe, take the cue ball up table. That's what I like doing is making the 13 and taking the cue ball on the end rail. Did he call safe?
That's good too. That'll hide it if you hide it in the pocket.
It called safe, yeah.
Yeah. You just really want to have this on the end rail if you can.
And toward the middle of the table. If he was over on a side rail, he could like thin the one for an easy safe. But
there's a shot from the middle of the table, but it's hard. Yeah, that's a disaster. There's a shot where what you do is you go 2 rails and try to thin the rack. And if you miss the rack, then you're just on a foul and you're doing it again because the guy just put you back up there, and so you try it again. You can do it successfully, but it's a hard shot because you just got to barely thin the rack off of a 2 railer.
Yeah, it would be very easy to hit it too thick and sell out something.
Yep. That's why, you err on the thin side, which is why guys usually end up having to shoot it multiple times.
Well, he's got the bailout ball in the kitchen. And probably won't be getting near that for a little while.
It's
He
actually
might be going right now.
it's actually a lot like the foul and miss situation in snooker, where
Oh,
guys will
got
try
them.
to like thin a ball or thin a ball off the rack, and they'll miss it and foul and miss, and then they'll try it again and try it again. Except in snooker, you know, you can just keep doing it.
No,
You don't
you
have
can't.
that 3 of them. What happens in snooker? How many tries do you get?
Once
No,
snookers are required.
If there's a ball on that you can see both sides of the ball and you're not snookered and you miss a red twice, the referee will call foul and miss twice and then give you a warning before you do it the third time that you'll lose the frame.
Okay, so they have a warning kind of thing if on the third one. Yeah, so it is a lot like straight pull then. I don't remember that. I don't think VP has that because we don't, you know, there's no real way to do that.
The English hate an intentional foul. Funny.
No, the English hate simple rules. They got to make everything complicated. Well, that's a nice little bump, and he missed the ball.
Well,
So
there's
he's
another chance.
He did. I'm so intent on this little bump on the 11 that I forgot to make the ball. You know that happens. It's not. You always feel like a fool when that happens too.
No.
Oh, look at this.
Where was John Drew
dear.
there?
Where's the cue ball going?
He just beat Stubb. Stubb had a 1-ball run. He had a 0-ball run.
Oh dear.
A negative 1-ball run.
Simon